Okay, we're going to assemble the pattern of the scrub cap. You have these two pieces for the band, printed pages, that will piece together to this. You trim off, place it in position, tape it down. You need to trim this piece. This gives you the part that you will tie. Then you can cut it out, and this is what it looks like assembled. You'll tape it down, and this is what it looks like assembled. Alright, now we're going to pin and cut. This is the band, and it needs to be placed on the fold of the fabric. This is 23 inches of fabric, just shy of 2/3 of a yard. That will yield 2 caps, 2 scrub caps. I place the band on the straight edge of the fabric that I have. That gives me only one place to cut. One side to cut. Put the cap here. Once you have cut this one, which I'll come back and do, you can then flip this one over and you will have a second band. This cuts 2. Since this is on the fold, it only cuts 1. So if you want to go ahead and cut second band to go ahead and use that second cap, you can do that at that time. You can trace around your pattern piece, remove the pattern piece, and cut with scissors. I cut with the rotary cutter. I'm just letting this cut straight to the selvage, and that's why I have no raw edges down here at this end. Take a straight edge. You now have 2 caps, 1 band. And as I said, if you want, just flip this over, cut yourself another band, and you've got a second cap. You're ready for a second cap. If you are using a directional fabric where everything is facing one direction, you need to keep that in mind when you're laying your pattern out before you cut. This is the top of the band, so you're going to want to think about how the fabric is facing. If you turn it, this is the top of the band and you have it this way, your bicycles are upside down. So you want the top of the band with your fabric going the direction that you want it. You need to have your bikes, or whatever your directional fabric is, going in the same direction as the top of the band. So you would put one piece here, and this would cut 2 caps unless you separate it out to just cut one. And then if you want to do the same thing you did, or you can do this, sorry, you can't do that, because then they're going the wrong direction. You need to just move it over, and now you can make 2 scrub caps from that piece of fabric. Close to 3/4 of a yard.
Versus
2/3 of a yard for a non-directional fabric. Alright, you now have the cap top, I call it the cap, and your band pieces cut. You have fold lines that you'll need to mark, and a center mark. This fold line is just 1/4 inch if you want to mark it, or you just want to eyeball it when you press. Mark your fold line here, and mark the center of the cap. On the band, you have a fold line right here, a fold line here, and a fold line here. Slide it down. You're going to put a mark here, a mark here. You should have, from when you cut your fabric and you were on the fold, you need to make the center mark for the band. You're going to align that to that. Flip this over. Line it up. Mark your fold line here and your fold line here, and your fold lines here, 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 and here. You have a mark here and a mark here. Line them up. Make your mark. You can do the same thing here. Make your mark. If you want this, you can also just eyeball and press. This is a 1/4 inch. You're just going to press down with your iron. This is called an add a 1/4 inch. An add a 1/4 ruler. There's a ridge right here. This is 1/4 inch. If you lay that edge right there on the raw edge of your fabric, you can mark right there, and that gives you 1/4 inch right here. Is that visible? I just eyeball for the 1/4 inch one. Okay. We've pressed down the 1/4 inch all the way along there. On this end, on this end.
Okay.
Okay. So now you take this edge, you bring it up and meet. That should be your fold line. If you want to pin, you can. And you're going to press that fold line all the way down. continuing on to the end down here. Okay. On the cap, you have this 1/4 inch piece. You're going to take that, you're going to press that, and then you have your fold line here. This is going to make the little hair pouch, or whatever you want to call it. Press that. And okay, this is the top piece of the cap. We're going to sew down that 1/4 inch. I'm going to use a narrow zigzag to make sure that there's no raw edges once it's all put together. I've got my purple thing. Okay. Now the fold line to make the pocket. Fold it up. This I just do with a straight stitch. 1/4 inch. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now you have the pouch for the hair. The next step is to pin the pieces together, and that takes a while. Now you're going to pin the cap to the band. You match your center marks. Pin. And you're just going to try, even though it does that, you're going to match these raw edges. You'll need to pin pretty close together. And you're going to do that all the way around. This will give you the shape of the cap. So I've pinned all the way around. I'm going to pin right there. This is what it looks like on the other side. Pin in here. Matching those raw edges up. Pin. Okay. Now we're going to sew, and we're going to start the seam right there where that little pouch is. 1/4 inch seam allowance. Straight stitch. Reinforce, and go a little slowly, removing your pins, unless you're a brave soul. I find if I keep a little bit of pull on the fabric, it helps keep any little puckers out. And you're going to go all the way around. Okay. So now you have this part sewn in. This is your edge all the way around. Now you're going to do a narrow zigzag covering that seam. If you would like, you can actually start zigzagging down here before it goes into the curve. You can either do that now or later. Okay, we have sewn the band to the cap, the top of the cap. Now we're going to do another pressing on this just to make sure it stays well. This is where we zigzagged, and you've got your pouch. I'm going to press this down again where I did the little zigzag there to protect that edge. I'm going to press it again. Same thing on the other side. When we go back to the sewing machine, I'll be sewing this down. I'm going to start here, sew, pivot, come up here, sew, come off, go up, sew this down, pivot back, come back, reinforce right here, come down, and then continue to sew this way, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. One of the reasons I leave the selvage from the edge of the fabric is I don't have a raw edge that I have to worry about tucking under, because this is not going to fray when this is laundered over and over again. Okay, so we're going to use a 1/4 inch. Oops, I got to go back to straight. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance straight stitch. Pivot at this corner. Okay, you can see where it's starting to veer, and we're going to go with the veer off. Stitch this down, reinforce right here. Come back. Where we're going back. do this all the way around. Reinforce that corner again. That's going to get a lot of stress because that's where it's tied. And you now have a completed scrub cap, complete with a pouch for if someone needs to tuck their hair in the back. Put it on, tie it, and there you go.